You will stand before the Elder Gods. Worms to crush in my hands. Your insolence will be punished.
Recently I bought a few fighting games, and one of those games are Mortal Kombat series, so in this video I'm gonna share my quick thoughts on it. I'm casual when it comes to fighting games. I don't play competitive, but I do play local with friends and AI, of course. Okay, let's start. Mortal Kombat 10 or X is the second game in Mortal Kombat series developed by NetherRealm Studios and released in 2015. I like the darker tone of the story, the pacing was not the best and certain story elements progressed way too quickly. As this is a fighting game, I understand the focus was on a combat and gameplay. Still, the storyline could have been paced and told better. Overall, the story wasn't the most interesting, but it was there. Gameplay is engaging and offers an accessible entry point while maintaining a high skill ceiling. The X-ray specials are enjoyable to execute, but they do become repetitive after a while, especially given the ability to use them multiple times within a single round. 14 stages are at your disposal to fight on. There are 33 characters available, including both old and new, as well as guest characters. This applies if you have XL version of the game that includes all of them, or if you have base game you can buy them separately. All of them are unique with combos and abilities, and of course fatalities. Game has a few modes and some of them are story, it's a standard single player narrative mode. Tower, you fight 10 opponents in a series and the last opponent is always Shinnok. There is also test your luck, it plays just like a traditional tower but with random modifiers applied to each fight. And of course we have multiplayer, both online and local aspect. Graphically game is pretty even today, although you can see lower res textures. Considering that it was released in 2015, I would say it looks pretty good.
I still grieve my wife and son.
I'm not so cold as to mock your pain.
A wise choice, Sub-Zero.
Mortal Kombat 11, third game developed by NetherRealm Studios and direct sequel to Mortal Kombat 10, released in 2019, 4 years after it. Story continues 2 years after its predecessor, but this time new villain is introduced, Kronika, Keeper of Time. I thought I wasn't gonna like the story, because I'm not a fan of time travel or any multiverse stories, but I was pleasantly surprised by it. Yes, there is a lot of loopholes within the story, and some actions by characters don't make sense, but the story overall is okay. In terms of villain Kronika, I found her to be compelling enough. Time travel or multiverse were used sparingly, so I didn't mind it too much. And I guess it was made to bring back older models, or shall I say younger versions of characters that we know. Aftermath DLC continues right after the main story, but this time we get to play as Nightwolf, Fujin and Shang Tsung. The story was somewhat predictable, but I enjoyed Shang Tsung. You could sense his impending betrayal, creating tension as you wonder when he would pull a trick to come on top. Ultimately, he does betray and double-crosses his allies, leaving resolution of the story up to you. Gameplay was somewhat changed. Gone are X-ray specials and introduced are fatal blows. In my opinion, this was a great change. They are more impactful and you cannot spam them as soon as the bar is filled, but rather you can use them only when your health is under 30%, and you can use them only once per match. I found combos to be easier to execute, which is great for players such as myself, who just want to jump in game and play without much thought. But for those who like studying the game and combos, you can find a lot of depth within it. There are also crushing blows. It is a special variation of certain attacks that benefits the player in various ways. Crushing blows have key requirements in order to activate. The endgame boss fight with Kronika is frustrating and forces repetitive moves until her health is depleted. She has unblockable and undodgeable attacks. When you damage her enough, she summons another character who has its own health, but they are not hard to deal with. By the way, you cannot stun, combo or use fatal blows on Kronika. The game could be significantly improved by implementing a standard combat system, possibly with increased health rather than what you got. There are 37 characters in total if you have Ultimate Edition, or 24 if you have base game, but you can buy them separately. Graphically, this game blows previous game out of the water. Till this day, it's one of the best looking fighting game out there. Whoever directed the cutscenes deserves a raise, from fight choreography to camera movement. Absolute perfection.
Friendship. Total Khan wins.
Mortal Kombat 1, released in 2023, the game serves as a soft reboot of the franchise, the second overall reboot that NetherRealm Studios developed. Story continues as Liu Kang restarts history and creates new one. The first part of the game is fantastic. Now Liu Kang is Earthrealm's protector with Raiden as its champion, alongside Johnny Cage, Kung Lao and Kenshi. Most changes and character designs are great, except Kitana, who had the best design in Mortal Kombat 11, and Shao Kahn's new design feels generic compared to his previous one. Unfortunately, the story falls short in the latter half. I initially believed it would not involve time travel or multiverse, but this was not the case. Motivation behind the main villain makes zero sense, it was absolutely stupid. Shame, it would be my favorite story up to the newer games, but they had to fall short at the end. But the end sequence, at least from gameplay perspective, is great, and you get to fight from bottom to top of stairs, literally. Gameplay has undergone significant changes. Stage interactions have been completely removed, but in their place we now have cameo characters, who get summoned to stun or damage opponent to help you connect combos. Combo breakers are back, but to be able to use them you'll have to have all 3 bars of meter. Mortal Kombat 1 has the best gameplay in my opinion, but I cannot speak from competitive side of things. Alongside your character the fatality, you can perform fatalities from your cameo characters. The game introduces Invasion Mode, a board game style RPG with collectible loot and minigames. This mode replaces the crypt as it is where you unlock several skins, in-game currency, concept art and other rewards. Graphically, it isn't as big of a jump like it was from 10 to 11. Faces and environment aka stages are still great improvement. All the cinematics were better directed in 11, which is unbelievably hard to top. Total of 35 characters are available, if you exclude cameo ones as they are not playable. Of course 23 are included in the base game, while others are purchasable separately. Thanks for watching, until next time. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.